It's time for grassroots racers and fans to gather round. Welcome to the Racing Roundup Show. Thanks for joining us for our landmark 40th season. We are your destination for news and interviews within the Wisconsin racing scene, the upper Midwest, and from the world of motorsports. The Racing Roundup Show is America's longest running weekly motorsports show held in front of a live audience. You still have time to join the racing crowd for tonight's show. And now, here is the host of the Racing Roundup Show, Jim Trado.
Hey, welcome everybody. Thanks for being here. It's a wonderful opportunity to get together with racers again. It's our 40th season starting tonight at Polly's Pub and Eatery, 81st and Greenfield. Come on down and join the racing crowd. We have a lot of people to thank, including our show originators. Back in the day, Terry Jeffords, Daryl Dobbs, and Dennis Erneska said, hey, let's do this show. We want to get into the racetrack for free. We want to get media passes and go to tracks and hang out. And we know some people. What if we did like a radio show? That was 1985. Here we are 40 years later. This is our 40th season of the show. And on them, and because of their several beverages and creativity, we are here today, along with many others, to celebrate these 4 decades on strong now of our show. So thank you again for being part of it. Thanks for joining us. We hope you like our show on Facebook and certainly watch our shows on demand on our website, racingroundupshow.com. It's also our time to think back to a couple of guys that we always say, hey, our first show, we always got to mention something. We certainly want to mention those who we've lost in the last year, but also we keep thinking about this time of year. Alan Quickie passed away 31 years ago this week, and we also know that little Al Jr., Al Schill Jr. is still racing somewhere up in heaven. He passed away several years ago around this time as well. So our thoughts always dedicating this first show to little Al and Al Schill Jr. and Alan Quickie. We also want to mention that Pee Wee Wakowiak is one of the many that we lost since our last program that ended our 39th season last September. So keep in mind, Pee Wee is now in a better place. The Pabst Brewing stock has plummeted because Pee Wee loved his Pabst Blue Ribbon. I'll tell you, it's sad to see that he passed away back on March 16th. He was a fixture. He told me once he won a class championship at Great Lakes Dragway in 1949. We might know him for his many circle track escapades and his long conversations, but Pee Wee is one of the many we miss as we continue our program. For all these years, getting to know some pretty creative and pretty interesting people over time. This show is made possible by great show sponsors. We want to thank them, and their logos are on our website, racingroundupshow.com. A couple of them we want to thank our Central Services Company. The Borer family's been with us for a long, long time. Auto Trans Design, thank you, the McCormicks. Oak Creek Automotive, long-standing supporters of our show. We welcome some of our new show sponsors. You'll see some new twists this year. Why not, right? Let's do it right. Let's keep it evolving. Precise Auto and Truck Accessories in Wisconsin Dells with racer Mike Grunberg. Source Services is on board as well. Thank you, Danny and Amanda there. And Adams Towing. Thank you, Rick and his family, for jumping on out of Plover to be part of our program this year. We'll be live every Tuesday from now through October 1st, giving you fresh goods on the Racing Roundup Show every Tuesday evening. New for our 40th season, some big news you may have heard. I want to tell you for the real, it's coming. It's going to happen. Starting tonight, 30 minutes of our Tuesday shows will be now captured and aired on television in Milwaukee. Every Saturday at 11:30 a.m. on CW18 Milwaukee, you can see the Racing Roundup Show, a 30-minute show based upon what we did on Tuesdays. It'll be airing on Saturdays on CW18 TV, and we're so excited to have great supporters involved with that. Great content on your way as well, and it's going to expose us, racers, hopefully to a bunch of people that come fill those seats and cheer you on in the grandstands and get more involved in racing and get to know more about it as the CW Network nationwide is taking over the NASCAR Xfinity Series coverage starting next February in Daytona. So this all plays into where they want to go more local sports. We would certainly want to have a bigger audience to get more people to the racetrack and support our sponsors and what we have going, our great series that we highlight every Tuesday. So looking forward to it. So this Saturday and every Saturday, 11:30 a.m., CW18 in Milwaukee is carrying our 30-minute show based upon what we get out of our Tuesday programs every week from now through October 1st. So we can't thank CW18 enough for their commitment and support of our show. And we hope we get a lot more exposure for motorsports in general, not just with our Tuesday show, but our Saturday TV shows going forward as well. You might notice some slight pauses because we're doing some elements for television while we're doing our Tuesday show. That should become ingrained to you. I've done television live for motorsports since 1996. So I get how this can work, and we certainly want to make sure it does work for everybody involved. So work with us and enjoy the program as we have delivered to you every Tuesday. It'll take a slightly different twist as we do some production elements during our Tuesday show, all for the betterment of exposing more people to what we love, motorsports. I'd like to recognize Matt Rapina for his outstanding work in getting that TV show off the ground. Thank you, Matt, and getting all this wonderful set going. Thank you, Matt Rapina. Working his brains out to try to make us into a TV show, which is awesome. I keep loading on, and he's like, okay, yep, we'll do that too. I don't need to sleep today, so thank you, Matt, very much. Really appreciate it. Also want to thank Greg Lapine. He had double knee replacement in January. I think it should be an annual thing because he's been lighting up the phones of a lot of people saying, let's get involved with this show. So thank you, Greg Lapine, for getting more people involved in our program and more excitement for our show. You'll hear a lot of Dean Strom's voice, and his contributions are always welcome. Thank you, Dean, for your long-standing involvement. And we could not do this show without Dave Schmalzer. So instead of me saying at the end of the show, we're going to start there because without that, these guys and our staff, we have nothing. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Bruce. Thank you, Sherry. Thank you, Sam. It's been wonderful, and let's keep it going. Excuse me, at a year number 40. It's kind of crazy to think about, but it's really, really kind of cool to have all of that. You want to know more about the show? Well, guess what? Tonight's show is going to be action-packed. We are so excited to have our traditional first show guests, Ted and TJ Dolan. They got their buddy Scott James. He'll be calling us on the phone. It's their first show guest. Dolan Motorsports is back and running. They're running super dirt late models, so we're going to talk to the Dolans about that. And we would not be here. We would not be at Monreal's. We would not be at Polly's. We would not be where we are without the help of the Dolans and their support over 40 years of this program. So thank you, Teddy Dolan and family. John Wood is here tonight. Thank you, Johnny. Bryce Miller's here. This beautiful truck. They're going racing this Saturday in the Icebreaker 50. It's the season opener for the Midwest Truck Series at Dells Raceway Park. We'll talk to them about that. We welcome back our friend Jeff Wessel, who's overseeing things at HRP, Hefner Racing Products. He's back on board in a big way. You'll hear from Jeff in a few moments, and I might have a chance to get a word in edgewise. We'll see. We'll see. He's got some experience now in this TV and radio stuff. Dells Raceway Park has a big icebreaker race this Saturday. Track owner Jerry Aubie's going to join us with two guys who brought their race cars here, brothers, Tanner and Braden Berkey. They are here tonight. They brought their race cars outside, and matter of fact, we got some giveaways from them. If you ever wanted to win a racing hood, tonight's the night. Tonight is the night. Braden Berkey's put a new body on his car, and he's like, this hood's not going to fit anywhere else, and they want giveaways, so we got a hood. We're giving it away tonight. We got some great giveaways after the show, too. Thanks, guys, for your support. Great giveaways we'll tell you more about in a few moments as well. And we'll go in the groove with Bill Howland, who recaps last year's Halloween at Dells to give us an idea what the icebreaker and the Halloween races looked like, because we're going right back there this coming weekend with Bill in the groove at Dells Raceway Park on Saturday afternoon. Hey, it's Tuesday night, April 9th. We're live at Polly's Pub and Eatery, 81st and Greenfield. Come on down and join the racing crowd. We'll be right back.
Thanks for tuning in to the Racing Roundup Show. Check out our website, racingroundup.show.com, and like our show on Facebook. Join us on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. We're coming right back after these messages from our awesome show sponsors.
Add value and beauty to your home or commercial property with professional landscaping from Central Services Company, Incorporated. The team at Central Services is their personal choice of over 45 years of satisfied customers in Southeast Wisconsin for landscape design, construction, and grounds maintenance. Call Central Services at 262-548-0005 for all your landscaping and lawn care needs. No job is too large or too small. From lawn fertilization and weed control to award-winning landscape construction and building your backyard patio oasis, Central Services is your full-service landscape company. Call the experts at Central Services at 262-548-0005 for a free, no-obligation consultation at your home or business. Find out why Central Services can provide you with the visual difference in the art of landscaping and lawn care. Call 262-548-0005. Central Services, the visual difference in landscaping.
For your next Purge or project, go with the pros. Source Services. Champion driver Wisconsin Short Track Hall of Famer Dan Source founded Source Services in 1988 with one truck, one employee, and a tireless work ethic. Through the dedicated work of Dan and his employees, Source Services LLC is Southeastern Wisconsin's leading waste container rental company. Dropped and picked up by professionals, you can rent a dumpster for up to 60 days. Source Services sorts and recycles to reduce the amount of waste going into landfills. Go with the pros at sourceservices.com.
ARR has been recycling for over 80 years and is here to help. Take them your recyclable metals and they'll pay you cash. ARR buys aluminum, brass, copper, lead, and steel. And attention contractors, ARR has a bonus program just for you that puts more cash in your pocket. And who doesn't like more cash? Find their full list of accepted materials at ARR1938.com. ARR with locations in West Allis and Waukesha. If you have questions, give them a call. 414-321-4134. ARR Recycling since 1938.
Attention race fans. When you need expert tree trimming, or it's finally time for tree removal or stump grinding, there's only one name to call, Making the Cut. Fully insured arborists. Making the Cut has the knowledge and equipment to get the job done right in Milwaukee, Waukesha, and Racine counties. They specialize in removing trees from structures and offer 24/7 emergency storm service. You've probably seen the yard signs. Now it's your turn to request an estimate. Call 414-750-2525 or visit mtctree.com. Make the right call, race fans. When it's time for expert tree work in your yard, it's Making the Cut.
Like our show on Facebook and share our content with other race fans. We hope to see you at one of our upcoming shows too. Join racers, other race fans, and win prizes. Now let's get back to more of the Racing Roundup Show.
Welcome to the Racing Roundup Show. We're hanging out with you here, and we're looking forward to seeing you join us on a Tuesday night. This is the Racing Roundup program that started back in 1985 with a wish and a hope by Dennis Erneska, Terry Jeffords, and Daryl Dobbs, the original host of the program. And I came along as the Badger Kart Club announcer and a call-in reporter for the Badger Kart Club. And then I started, when we went live in front of an audience in 1987, I started showing up at the show, and I got more and more involved. That brings us right to where we are today, because there's a lot of folks that were part of this program that we welcome back and have a great time with. And I couldn't tell you how excited and pleased we are to have the next guy next to me back with us. Jeff Wessel started as the Badger Kart Club announcer and the call-in reporter guy on our show. Then we got him more involved, and Jeff went on to do a lot of great things. And Jeff, it's great to have you back here and on the program. And I didn't realize until you and I spoke recently, you've got a lot going on in the world of racing.
It's definitely been a wild last, say, 12 plus years, we'll say 16 years as far as my career where I'm at now. But first of all, it's great to be back. It is amazing to be back on this stage with my Racing Roundup family. I've missed you all, and I totally have to say, Jim, boy, I missed coming down to this place. This is awesome, and it's great to be back, and I am so proud of what you all have done and what this season is going to bring to the racing community.
Well, you also are one of the folks that said, I want to get involved. We want to get HRP involved. You've had a long commitment. We've seen the HRP logo around here. We know the Hefner family's big time into racing in a lot of ways, including track ownership. But HRP started out as we want to do our own thing, and it's grown from there. Take us through maybe a brief glance across the history of HRP and what you guys have all done and continue to do.
It all roughly started basically 30 years ago. The Hefners, who at the time were racing sprint cars, and they decided that they wanted to build their own wings. They had their own capability. Glenn Hefner Incorporated, which is the parent company, is a metal manufacturing company in Hartford, celebrating their 50th year next year.
Wow.
But 30 years on the racing side, the boys decided, hey, let's build our own wings and let's give a unique approach to it. Sprint car racers or those involved in open wheel racing know that when you do rivets on wings or body work, when you apply decals or scrape mud on a race night, those rivets were always kind of getting in the way, getting scraped up, or your decals would pop up and look crazy. Todd Hefner and his brother Troy Hefner came up with this idea of, what if we build a recessed rivet wing and recessed rivet panels? They utilized the technology at the time, and this is going back roughly 30 years ago, where they would cut the sheets and they would get punched. And those punches in the sheets, when the rivets were installed, made the rivets flush to the body panels. It became a very unique thing. To this day, we are still the original manufacturer of recessed rivet wings and bodies components. From that point, things started taking off for the family. Well, we could build wings. We had other racers, can you build chassis components? Can you build axles? And that just kind of added to the fold. Can you build trailer accessories? The boys maybe needed something for their own trailers, caught on, and that just grew and grew and grew. And through the years, not only be involved in open wheel racing, at this point, Hefner Racing Products, we have our eyes on basically every form of motorsports, whether it be drag racing, Indy cars. We were very strong in NASCAR for quite some time. Of course, sprint cars are our main staple. Roughly 10 years ago, when we took over, for those in the area that know, Streeter Super Stands was a very big staple name in local go-kart racing. We took over the daily operations of Streeter Super Stands roughly a decade ago and grew that company as well. And it's been a phenomenal ride and been very busy, and I am very proud of what I'm able to do and what we as a company are able to do.
And what I love about it is it's a Wisconsin-based company in Hartford, Wisconsin, and it's almost by demand. I remember back in the day when I heard Sammy Swindell wants you guys to, I think his seat uprights, he wanted to make a certain metal or not metal to make sure they were durable enough, and he wanted you guys to laser cut these, and it was like cutting edge stuff. But you had guys like Sammy Swindell calling up saying, build me some of this. I want this, or can you build me that?
And that is very true. As far as even at that time, the names and the teams that called for components and specialty items, and to this day it's still done. Some of them I may not be able to state who we work for. Some of it's exclusivity, but it's crazy on my end where I could be at the shop on any given day and I could get a call from a certain NASCAR team crew chief or engineer that is looking for a component. Not uncommon to talk to IndyCar folk, and of course on the sprint car side, it's just phenomenal as far as the folks that we work with, and on any given day that I am in communication with and am proud to do my job for.
Hang out with Jeff Wessler here on the Racing Roundup Show. We're live every Tuesday evening. You're watching, hopefully, us on a Saturday on CW18. It's about exposing racing in all types and forms. And we talk about, you drop some NASCAR names, you drop some IndyCar. Team Penske came to you guys. That's pretty impressive.
Yes.
We can talk about them, right?
Absolutely, we can, and that all came into play. How we got involved in NASCAR actually originally started on the IndyCar side of things, where Troy Hefner was working with Penske's IndyCar team, building some components, more on the aerodynamic side for them. And at that time was right when, hey, we're starting a NASCAR team. Would you be interested in maybe getting involved with that? Of course, at the time, the Hefners were growing the company and got involved with that, and that then grew into, and many folks may or may not know, at one point up until this current generation car, we built the majority of all NASCAR Cup teams' rear end housings that were used. We were at one time the only certified manufacturer of spacer plates for the NASCAR Cup, Xfinity, and Truck series. We still manufacture those for Xfinity and Truck, of course, no longer on the Cup side with the new car, but just to have that, I guess, part of our roster is pretty amazing. Especially even you and I talked to each other not too long ago, the Jimmy Johnson era.
Yeah,
and we can get in that if you
bring
if
it
you
on.
want to.
We got time, baby.
Back in Jimmy Johnson's heyday, the championship years of Jimmy Johnson, Chad Knaus, boy, the monster team, able to do a lot of the testing still back then in NASCAR. It was not uncommon for us to get a call at the shop on a Tuesday, any you name the day, and it'd be Chad Knaus on the line, and he'd call and say, "Hey guys."
That's Jimmy Johnson's Hall of Fame crew chief. If you
Yes.
didn't know the name, from nearby Rockford, Illinois.
Amazing. Jeff or whoever, Troy Hefner. Tomorrow we're doing a test at such and such track, and the story I remember the most, they were down at Daytona. We're going to do a test at Daytona, and we want a few rear ends with these dimensions. And at the time, they could play with all that stuff. There were no set rules in NASCAR for the rear end housings. Can you build us this rear end with a certain skew, this one with a certain angle, camber, blah, blah, blah. And it was like, wow, this is crazy. But we're testing tomorrow at Daytona. It's Tuesday. Can you make it happen? Yes, that's the Hefners are always, let's get the job done, get the stuff down there. And I still sat back that entire week thinking, that was crazy. And I remember Tuesday when those rear ends left our shop, UPS red label to Daytona International Speedway, and I looked at the cost of just shipping those down there, how crazy that was. And it was like, that was a lot of money, but it makes sense because they were winning a lot of races and championships. Not too far after that, had the opportunity to hear Chad Knaus talk about the team and their championships and the testing, and the question was presented to him, hey, Chad, not too long ago, you ordered all these rear end housings from us, red label, and they did it quite often, so it wasn't just, but this certain scenario. And Chad said to me, and I said, how does that work? Do you not get in trouble for spending all that money, $7,000 a UPS to get a couple rear end houses down to Daytona? And Chad said, I get a budget every start of the season. Everything we do, every department gets a certain budget. And he said, if I don't spend that money, next year I ain't getting that money. So when we call, just keep getting out the door. And it's really cool. And it's not even just NASCAR. I mean, we still see the same things even on World of Outlaws, the High Limit Series. And, of course, you see a lot on the local side where guys that do have that option of having a budget just want to get the stuff done and have the best parts.
And you guys are racers. That's got to mean a world to you and to them, knowing that you're out there either trying it or you've already done it or you know better. Like, let's try this instead.
Absolutely. Being able to work with the Hefner family has afforded all of us, all the employees that are racers, the opportunity to maybe to present ideas, to take those ideas, bring them to conception and try them. It's definitely helped my racing, whether it be through kart racing, through local short track things with the sprint cars and the midgets and the lightning sprints, even to the legend car, there's things that we learned and tried. Too many of our guys that race modifieds and other things in racing. It's great to have that opportunity and that the company and the family that we work for allow that.
Where can we find out more about HRP, Jeff?
Absolutely easiest place, hrpracing.com. And we are very web-driven. And my 16 years working for this company, we started, of course, on the forefront on the website things in the 90s. When I came to fold with this company, we kept pushing that, and it built. It got better. And a main staple of our daily business is online. So hrpracing.com has our complete product roster, and you are more than welcome anytime to give me a call at the shop. My number's right on our website.
Jeff Wessel, thanks so much for your time. HRP is where you want to go. Thank you, Jeff.
Good to be here. Thank you, guys.
And guess what? We just made TV magic. We can talk to Jeff some more. Jeffrey, this is awesome to have you here. And that was a segment you'll see this Saturday on CW18. So you were part of it. Thank you. Thanks for being the golf applause professionals as well. We didn't cue you guys. We didn't have anything going on. So the neat thing about this is you're way involved. You've been extremely proactive with getting things done better, getting things done right. And I love seeing your Facebook. If you don't follow Jeff on Facebook, you should. You guys go off-roading. You guys go enjoy yourselves. I mean, it's a family deal, but, I mean, you guys are going someplace everywhere, and it's got to be really cool knowing that work ties into some of that, but you play hard and work hard too.
What was great when I started with the Hefners is I was racing full-time, primarily in karting, and that helped us when we grew the Streeter Super Stands brand. We were able to go on the road. I ran the National Series primarily with our work hauler. We had the Hefners toter home and sprint car stacker trailer. We would travel across the country, West Coast, East Coast, down south, open the door to a stacker trailer that would normally be able to haul 3 sprint cars, and there's a go-kart sitting in there. And it was great to be able to do that. But as time went on, we were able to bring products to the track, promote the brand, and that's been very fun to be able to do that. And what I'm really proud of, Jim, is since the time that I've been with this company, is just to see the growth. And as you stated, yes, I'm very fortunate enough where I work. My family, my wife, who is great, who has put up with my racing and all of my recreational sports. I've been able to go snowmobiling in winter. We are very big into UTVing, which Todd Hefner, who has stepped back on the racing side, as has Troy. Troy kind of retired when his daughters were born. Todd, the last few years, has been stepping back because they have been putting emphasis on the metal fabrication side of the business of GHI, Glenn Hefner Incorporated. So they said, hey, my dad paid his dues. It's time for us to take the next step. We don't need to be out racing every night. We need to concentrate on growing this family-owned company and providing for 50 employees. And to me, that is very special because these guys literally, and I don't mean this in any disrespect, these guys really could have just sat back and say, we're going racing this weekend, Dad, thanks, and go. But they put that aside to build this company, and as me as an employee to see that is, it's great. I mean, it means a lot to me and hopefully our other employees as far as what our ownership is doing. So that's very fun. But with that, of course, I would be, non-conducive to say when Todd stepped back from racing, Todd got into UTVing. Well, Jeff and Sherry are into UTVing. So it kind of helps me when on a Thursday afternoon, if I'm sitting at the shop and things are running smoothly and everything's handled, and I could say, you mind if I cut out real quick, Todd?
Gotta do some R&D there, guys.
We're going to go up north. And
yeah.
It's great. It's great to have that, and I think that's afforded to the majority of all our employees. If you're giving them 100%, you're going to get that back to you. So I'm appreciative of that, and just to see how we've grown. The product roster is amazing. So if you go to our website and see how we've grown the trailer accessories, how that has just blown up. It's really cool. It's great to be a part of, and I'm proud of it, and it's nice that we're able to share it once again with our Racing Roundup family. So it's good that we're a part of this 40th season.
We are proud to have you involved. How about I say it for Jeff Wessel, everybody? Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you, guys. Great to be back.
Great to see you here. Thank you again for all your involvement in racing, and it will show and shine here on the Racing Roundup Show. This portion of the show is brought to you by Midwest Truck Series. They're in action this Saturday for the Icebreaker 50. They're supported by Pathfinder Chassis and White Deer Automotive. The season opening race, which you'll find more about on this show, is this Saturday at Dells Raceway Park. For series info and their 2024 racing schedule, visit MidwestTruckSeries.com. We have a lot more to come, a lot more races to talk about, race cars in the parking lot. We're hanging out here at Paulie's Pub and Eatery on a Tuesday night. Come on down and join the racing crowd. We'll be right back.
Join the racing crowd every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Central all season long. Share what you love about short track racing on our Facebook page and on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. We'll be right back with more of the Racing Roundup Show.
Olson's Outdoor Power Equipment is a fully equipped parts, sales, and service dealer of quality mowers, snow throws, trimmers, chainsaws, and more. Olson services what they sell, does warranty service work on big box store mowers, and their expert service technicians are ready to get your equipment running right. Put their stock parts department and friendly, knowledgeable staff to work for you. Visit the racers at Olson's Outdoor Power Equipment today at 14323 West College Avenue, just 1 mile east of Moreland Road in Muskego. Olson'sPower.com. Olson's Power Equipment.
Wolter Inc. is hiring. Wolter is on a mission to move, store, and power the world more efficiently. Wolter is a rapidly growing forklift distributor and is currently seeking skilled technicians to repair forklifts, industrial batteries, generators, and beyond. Apply today at wolterinc.com/careers. Wolter is looking for mechanically inclined individuals to join the racers that work there. Become a part of a team that is connected like family and committed to making an impact. Discover open technician positions and more at wolterinc.com/careers.
This Saturday at Dells Raceway Park, the Alive for 5 Super Late Models return for the 10th Annual Icebreaker 100, presented by Wegner Automotive. See the Midwest's best Super Late Model drivers go door-to-door in heart-pounding racing action for the first big event of the 2024 racing season. Plus, Midwest Truck Series and 602 Late Models. Gates open at 11, qualifying at 12:30, and racing at 2. Get your tickets online at DellsRacewayPark.com and save. Dells Raceway Park, located 2 miles west of I-90-94 at exit 85, just off Highway 12. Dells Raceway Park, where the best in the Midwest race. Rain date Sunday, April 14th.
427-1000 American Foundation. Cracks and leaks in your basement, have no fears. We've been fixing those things for over 60 years. Trust and dedication, that's American Foundation.
Call American right now for huge savings.
427-1000 American Foundation.
When we decided to get our crack leaky basement done, I am so glad we called American Foundation. It gave us a sense of confidence, and it gave us our basement back.
And it was the right choice.
Thank you very much.
American Foundation Specialist has been fixing basements since 1947. Satisfied customers are the future at American. Call American for huge savings at
427-1000 American Foundation.
Precise Auto and Truck Accessories is your one-stop shop when it comes to adding style and functionality to your vehicles. Owner and late model racer Mike Grunberg has 15 years of experience installing window tinting, cat skin leather, seat heaters, and seat coolers. There's a million accessories available. Ladder racks, trailer hitches, detailing, remote starters, and more. Precise Auto and Truck Accessories in Wisconsin Dells is a WeatherTech Diamond dealer. Bring your vehicle to the trusted guy, Mike Grunberg at Precise Auto and Truck Accessories.
The Racing Roundup Show is America's longest-running weekly motorsports show held in front of a live audience. Once again, here is the trackside voice of the Daytona 500. You see him on MAV TV's coverage of the Lucas Oil Chili Bowl, the ASA Stars National Tour, and the 500 Sprint Car Tour. The host of our show, Jim Trado.
Hey gang, thanks again for joining us on this Tuesday evening. I want to thank my brother Bob Trado, sign writer, for all the beautiful sign work he did. We got a fancy new backdrop. We got a fancy new sign that all the racers are going to sign. So thanks to Bob and his hard work as well. He's been around for a long time doing this. So thanks to Bob Trado, sign writer, for his involvement here, making us look really good. We also have giveaways tonight after the program here at Polly's Pub and Eatery. We have bottles of Anderson's maple syrup. And we also have a set of 4 race tickets. Yeah, that's the fancy apple syrup, Jerry. Yeah, I know. We're going to get into that. Maybe pass that around. They don't even sell that in the stores yet. Pretty cool we have it here. A set of 4 race tickets to Dells Raceway Park for this Saturday, or any Saturday you can go to Dells Raceway Park. We want to see you in the stands this Saturday afternoon for the big Icebreaker 100, Icebreaker 50, and the opening racing for the 602 Outlaw late models. Qualifying is at 12:30, racing at 2 p.m. More in just moments on that. We also have full-service car washes. Full-service car washes, an original third-generation, locally family-owned and operated Milwaukee small business since 1986. Unlimited car washes start at $14.99 a month, and you can get full-service car wash. It's the best deal to keep your car clean with locations in Hales Corners, Wauwatosa, Grafton, and West Bend. We also have racing T-shirts, die-cast cars, racing hats, and collectibles from Greenfield Gallery on Facebook. Stop by Greenfield Gallery in McGuanago this week, Thursday through Sunday, for their huge die-cast sale. Hundreds of die-casts from 1/64th to 1/18th scale. That's the big ones. Kowicki, Ken Seth, Danica, Bill and Chase Elliott, they got a bunch. Stickers, Dick Trickleholler I saw is part of the collection. Lots more. Details are on Facebook. Search Greenfield Gallery. We also have cans of Victory Fuel, made by racer Kevin Swindell. A drink fueled by electrolytes, daily vitamins, and is kid-friendly. It has no caffeine and no carbonation, just good natural flavors. Here's how you can save money on buying an order and getting it shipped to your address. Go to drinkvictory.com. And at checkout, type in the code SHOW. That's SHOW. Type in the code SHOW, and you can save money. And it helps us on the show, and we can give away more Victory Fuel, and we're doing after the show this evening. We also want to thank Bryce Miller for bringing in some racing T-shirts, a can koozie, and a hat. We got some cool stuff on the shelf behind me as well. Kowicki and Trickle 8x10 photos from Mary Frondorf. Thank you, Mary. We also have a Hoosier Tire clocks from Mark Goodman, and we have a hood. We'll tell you more about it here in a moment. Well, it's going to be fun. I guarantee you we have fun every Tuesday with giveaways after every show. So come on down and join the racing crowd. At this time, we want to welcome in a very special group of guys. So here we go. For TV, you ready for this one? I'm hitting the button and everything. There it is. Welcome to the Racing Roundup Show. We're glad you joined us. It's going to be a big season in 2024 at Dells Raceway Park in Wisconsin Dells. It's a wonderful destination for a lot of reasons, but man, the racing is so good on the third mile. Let's welcome in now to our show the owner and track operator, Jerry Aubie, who brought a couple of buddies with him as well. Brothers in racing, Tanner Berge and Braden Berge. Guys, thanks for being here.
Hey, thank you for having us.
Jerry, we are on the cusp. We are starting out a huge season at Dells Raceway Park with a $5,000 to win, a Live for 5 Super Late Model race, and there's 4 more occasions for fans to come and see you race, but this Saturday's a big deal.
This Saturday's a big deal, and today we got a little more sponsorship help. I don't know if you've seen the press release, but it's 1,000 set fast time for the Super Lates this weekend.
That doubled since I last checked. That's amazing you're getting that kind of support.
Yeah, well, everybody likes the Dells, huh? And it's
a lot of work goes into it too, Jerry. You got to be pretty excited knowing that it's the season opener for the Midwest Truck Series as well as your 602 Outlaw late models that are booming right now in the UMA sanction.
Yeah, 602 late models created by Wayne Lensing. They've been an integral part of since Wayne has sold the racetrack to me to help develop that program. And we've got a huge field of cars for the Icebreaker coming up. 602s, there's 26 entries. We've got 38 super lates. And Drew tells me there's 31 trucks in it.
That's really good. That's really good. You also have some racers in the crowd. Bill Preetzel's here tonight with his wife, Jan. They're going 602 racing when they get the chance. It's kind of neat, though. You have these guys representing you as well, the Berge brothers. They've been putting it on it. I mean, Tanner down there, tell me about how impressive he is, that young man, and what he did in the 602 Outlaw late model last year, Jerry.
Well, he looked like a seasoned veteran all year long. I just told him that, too. I says, he's got the it factor as far as when it comes to racing. He's very smooth. You never could tell he was a rookie. He won Rookie Year, won the championship. And his brother down there, well, Super Late Model Rookie of the Year as well, and was in contention to the last night to win the weekly Super Late Model Championship for the UMA up there.
Tanner, we're going to start with you because we bragged on you first. How'd you make it look so easy last year, winning as much as you did and slicing through the field on a regular basis?
Oh, it was all my dad. He's set up a really good car, and I don't know, I just got in it and drove it as hard as I could.
But there's got to be some more to it. How much work did you put into that? How much did you feel you yourself improved throughout the year?
Well, since day one, I just improved like step by step throughout the whole season. In the whole off season leading up to it, we were in the shop every night, making sure everything was perfect. And so it really felt good at the end of the year when we won the championship.
Tanner, what did you race before you jumped in the 602 Outlaw late model? You brought here tonight to show off at Paulie's.
iRacing, nothing
Really?
else. Yeah. I got a memory on Facebook yesterday that was my first day in a car at Slinger last year.
Wow. So 1 year ago, it was the first time you jumped in a race car.
Yep.
Wow. Did your bigger brother between us here have anything to do with that? Did Braden say it's time to go, it's your turn, or were you just itching any chance you got to go racing?
I don't know. Just leading up to the season, I was pretty nervous, and so I just asked him every dumb question I could to get as much knowledge leading up to the first race at the Dells.
Braden, as hard as you worked last year to nearly win the Super Late Model Championship at Dells Raceway Park, how much fun was it kind of keeping an eye on what your little brother was doing as well as he was in a different division? You maybe got a chance every now and then to take a peek.
It's actually not fun at all. It's a lot more. It's a lot more nerve-wracking watching, your little brother who you just run. He's just your little brother, and then you see him out there doing really good, and I'm critiquing him as he's going around, and then he impresses me with his moves every once in a while, and I don't know. He put on a pretty good show last year.
All right, Tanner, now that you were behind the wheel 1 year ago, let's brag on your big brother for a little bit. What did you learn from him? What did you take away from watching his racing? And when he said something, it clicked at what point because he was so involved in what you were doing?
The main thing was just, getting aggressive and, just making moves stick, because I tried to avoid conflict in the beginning of the season, and he told me I just got to just send it and get in there. And once he told me that, and racing at Slinger, they kind of made me realize I had to drive the car way harder. And since then, it was a pretty good season.
We're hanging out here on the Racing Roundup Show with Jerry Aubie, who runs the day-to-day operations and owns Dells Raceway Park. Brothers in racing, Braden Berge and his brother Tanner. And I'm getting back to you, Jerry, because this is what we want to see in here, right? We want these guys to get a chance. We want them to go racing. We want them to be committed to this. And having just the banter here, that's what we do this for. You're a racer. That's got to be kind of cool knowing this is continuing in a big way.
Yeah, unfortunately for me, the Atari didn't transfer into iRacing as far as getting into the seat back in '78 or whatever it was.
What'd you get into first time?
A late model.
All right, really? That's a big deal.
And, I wanted to start in the back, and, back then things were a little rougher. He says, you got to start up front sometime, get your spot, and I'm like, well, it's my first night. He says, I don't care, and that's how you were sent out. And I finished second in the semi-feature and made the A main, and I was really happy my first night out in the late model. So that was huge progress. These guys, that wouldn't be nothing. They got to have fast time and feature wins before they'll even smile. So,
Braden, is that true?
I don't know. I didn't get either of those last year, but we chase them.
And you've got a lot in store, guys. Super late models are running back at Dells Raceway Park in the Alive for 5 series, the impressive roster for this series. It's a 5-race series within a season. We've got some really powerhouse drivers. Jerry, who is all coming to race the Alive for 5 series at Dells Raceway Park this year?
Super late model drivers, we've got 38 cars already in, and it's nice to see some friendly faces back. Rich Bickle.
He retired.
Rich Favre, whatever his name is.
He retired too a couple times.
Yeah, 3 times. He called me up one day. He says, I'm going to race again. I says, okay, 1 or 2. Oh, no. He calls me up one time, 10 or 11 races. Well, maybe just the 5 at your track. Well, then last time I talked to him, he was up to 20 races, including the Slinger Nationals. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe he'll be a point champion for the Midwest Tour the way he's going. But, we got Johnny DeAngelis and Luke Fenhouse, which is always nice to have him back. Luke can't make all the races this year, but he was the champion last year, first repeat winner we ever had. Casey Johnson, just phenomenal at Halloween, just dominated when he came back, and he says, I'm good enough, and he's going to come back and go. He's going to run the full Live for 5 series. We got Ty Fredrickson. There's an impressive young man that's coming up. His daddy doesn't even want to race anymore. He just wants to help him out. So Dan's been pushing him. He's got a 55-race schedule, which is pretty aggressive. Ryan Farrell from down here in the Milwaukee area. Ryan's always good for fast time, former Trickle 99 and Icebreaker winner. Ryan's is all excited about this year with his Thierry's Camaro. And then, we've got Jordan Devoy and John Beal and Dalton Zier, and the list goes on. The interesting entry that I had that I didn't think was coming up the super late model this year was Western Marthaler, making the jump from modifieds to super late models. He's going to do a lot of Big 8 style car racing this summer. He's really pushing himself to move up, so that was interesting to see.
Lots going on. Dells Raceway Park is the website to go to. Dells Raceway Park, they're racing every Saturday. Check out the schedule, guys. Thanks for joining us on the show.
Hey, thanks for having us.
We are now going to continue with our program. That was the TV chunk. It was pretty cool, wasn't it? Braden, who are you looking forward to most racing against, or you've had a chance to battle against when we're talking about super late stuff?
Ryan Farrell and Jordan DeVoy are both pretty close mentors to me. More family friends and fellow competitors, honestly. So to mix it up with them, it's kind of fun. Hopefully I'm beating them this year instead of they're beating me. But besides that, Ty Fredrickson I think is going to be big, so it's going to be cool to race against him.
He is 15 now, so, he's getting up there.
I know. Can't even drive a real car yet.
Yeah. Nope.
But, no, there's a whole bunch. I mean, there's no slouches on Jerry's entry form, so everyone should be – they're all good.
And Tanner, I know the 602 Outlaw Late models, you learned a lot last year. You went to work, I'm sure, not just keeping what you have in the garage. That car, I'm sure, got tweaked and tuned on. What are you looking forward to this year with your 602 Outlaw Late model at Dells Raceway Park?
I'm looking forward to Tom Carlson coming back. He's going to be a good competitor this year. And I'm just looking forward to get back in a race car. It's been the car's just been sitting in the shop ready since we got back from Florida. So I've been itching to get back on the racetrack.
And when it comes to racing, a lot of folks say we wouldn't be where we are without our sponsors. And Jerry, I think we should start with you, with Wagner Automotive stepping in for their Live for $5,000 to win, $3,000 for second, $2,000 for third, plus throwing money at qualifying. I mean, this is cool to have Casey Wagner and that group just saying we want to support what you're doing. We want to support those racers that race at Dells Raceway Park.
Yeah, Casey's always been a supporter of the UMA as well as his dad Carl since the inception with the Live for 5 series. And Casey's just like, you know what? You got to give back to these guys. It's part of our business. And he does so much stuff nationwide now with all the muscle car guys and stuff that stock car racing, circle track racing to Wagner Automotive is almost secondary, but he still is one of the top engine builders in the whole United States for stock car racing.
And then you get guys like Diamond Bill Tandetsky sitting back here. He's part of the deal, sponsoring the Fast Dash in every weekly division. Yep. That's pretty cool.
It is awesome to have a Fast Dash. Rich Schumann gave me hell one time when I first took over up there. He's like, why don't you have a dash anymore that pays, make it worth something and everything? And then Bill stepped up, and we've had the Diamond Wheels Dash now for damn near a decade at the track, and he does 4 divisions a year and gives some awesome prize money for that and gift certificates and free wheels, and I can't thank Bill enough.
And he wins a bunch of modified races when he gets a chance.
He does win a bunch of modified races.
And then you got Blastow Towing. I mean, you got a lot of guys that go racing that want to support you. This is really cool. Where can people find out more about what you have going on? You got a really busy schedule.
Yeah, this year, we took on I opened my mouth at the right or the wrong time, but we took on the National Short Track Championships from Rockford Speedway with the Dairy family this year. So we're doing that in the first weekend of September. And I'm excited about it. I'd like to restore that. David, over the years, the super late models have kind of went down in that series, but you used to win with Mark Martin, Tim Fedowa. I mean, when you won the National Short Track Championship race in the super late models, you had your ticket to NASCAR. And I'd like to restore that notoriety to the super late model ranks, especially on that.
Big time, big time. Braden Berge, and there's a lot of great sponsors at Dells Raceway Park. You can see the race sponsorship, the great website, a lot of things going on there. Braden, we want to talk about that beautiful race car you have out there. And let's start by saying it's a beautiful new body. What did you bring tonight to give away to the fans here that are at Pauley's?
Well, I brought this here hood.
It's a big one.
Yeah, it's big.
That's a big T-shirt. No, it isn't. It's a hood. It's the race car hood.
Yeah, when you hang a new body, none of the old stuff ever seems to fit right. And we were kicking around in the shop and tried test fitting it, and it's not even close. So we figured, let's give back, and it's a cool thing to give away. And we're clearing the shop out a little bit for more.
And yes, it is autographed with his car number on the bottom. Thank you for bringing that in, Braden. Let's talk about your other sponsors you have on this race car and that have been helping you out throughout the years.
Yeah, I got a new sponsor this year, Wilson Sport Marine out of Palmyra. Stepped up in a big way. If you need any AutoCat service or repair or sales, they're the guys to go to. And then we got Able Distributing on the hood. They're a big part of what we do. Mike Thierry builds our engines. We got Breber Music. Bart's awesome. He sponsors a bunch of cars and racing. He's a great guy. Home Lumber, Dempsey Builders, Berge Plumbing. That's my dad, so I got to thank him. And JK Tools, James and Katie. Everyone knows them in the racing community, and they help a lot of people, so it's really awesome what they do. And, yeah.
How about the crew and the family? Who's all involved here?
The crew, I got an awesome spotter, Matt. I got my tire changers, Corey and Max, are here tonight over there. My dad's a crew chief. He does a lot in the shop and on race day, so I can't thank him enough. And then my mom lets it all happen, so she always gets some brownie points there. So,
Tanner, that car's been sitting there. You've been staring at it. Who have you got on board this year to thank for your involvement in racing?
Mainly the same as Braden, but Kerbeck Structural Shower Systems, Able Distributing, JK Tools, Breber Music, Schmitz Motorsports, and Berge Plumbing. That's it. Oh, and Sharp Design.
Any other crew people or maybe some high school buddies that are hanging out with you during the races?
No, none of my friends like racing, so I just hang out in the shop with Corey and Max all the time.
Well, I'm glad you're doing what you're doing. You're doing it very well. When it comes to racing, guys, this coming Friday you have a practice session, right?
Yes.
And is that open to the public, Jerry?
Open to the public, free to the public, noon
Great.
to 5 on Friday.
All right.
And then on Saturday we get the pit gates open at 8 o'clock, fan gates open at 11, time trials 12:30, first race at 2 o'clock, and should be a beautiful day.
We're going to find out more about the Midwest Truck Series in a moment as well. Their opener is the Icebreaker 50 this coming Saturday. Reminder again, gates open at 11 a.m. We're racing at 2 o'clock already, so get to the Dells Raceway Park. We'll have a 4-pack of tickets to give away tonight after the show, so you can win those here. But more importantly, you can save money, plan ahead. I checked, Jerry. You're giving money away if you buy your tickets in advance.
You save $5.
Yeah. Go to Dells Raceway Park, buy your advance tickets to any show you want to go to at Dells Raceway Park. How about a big hand for these guys? Thank you for bringing your cars down. Thanks for being here. Thanks for your support, Jerry Obby, Braden Berge, and Tanner Berge. Thank you so much for being part of our first show of this season.
Well, thanks for having us on.
Great to see you guys here. Thanks so much. We're taking a break. We'll come back. We've got more to talk about. We've got the Dolans. We've got talking about the Midwest Truck Series. We've got short track reports. We got the NASCAR results and a whole lot more. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Join the racing crowd every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Central all season long. Contact us on our website, racingroundupshow.com. We'll be right back with more of the Upper Midwest and Wisconsin racing scene, NASCAR, and the world of motorsports.
Greenfield Gallery wants to buy your racing collection. Do you have die-cast cars from IndyCar, Sprint Car, or short tracks? Greenfield Gallery wants them. If you have old racing programs, racing photos, and negatives, Greenfield Gallery wants those too. Contact Ralph Hibbert Jr. at Greenfield Gallery, who wants to buy your racing collection. Ralph also has an ever-changing eBay store full of racing collectibles. Search Greenfield Gallery. Email Ralph right now to get connected. His email address is ralph@greenfieldgallery.net.
Automatic Transmission Design is located in Germantown, Wisconsin. They've been hard at work the last 15 years in perfecting the best performance racing transmissions and converters. The folks at ATD have made it possible to offer the best quality and most affordably priced winning components for off-road, drag racing, truck pulling, and circle track applications. ATD may not be the biggest or most famous company in the marketplace, but they have the will and put in that extra effort to provide you with the best products available. ATD's certified technicians go through a comprehensive quality checklist on every transmission and converter they build. Then it's tested on their in-house dyno. Only then is the product ready for shipment to the customer. ATD takes these steps to provide you with the best quality products every time. They are 100% guaranteed. Their no returns policy makes sure it's right the first time. The next time you need a performance transmission or converter, give Charlie a call at 262-251-7777 or visit autotransdesign.com.
Jiffy Lube has locations across Wisconsin to serve you. Visit jiffylube.com to locate your store and to find the latest coupons and promotional offers. You're greeted by a friendly and knowledgeable staff. Grab a water or coffee and know you and your vehicle are in good hands. Windshield wipers, new tires, and alignments are a few of the many services offered. Jiffy Lube proudly features Pennzoil. There's a whole lot more than no appointment drive-up oil changes at Jiffy Lube. Welcome to personalized car care. Wisconsin race fans, find your store at jiffylube.com.
Organized like the pros with Hefner Racing Products. Take your trailer and shop to the next level with the best made and widest variety of storage and organizational accessories made right here in Wisconsin. Whatever you race or whatever the sport, Hefner Racing Products will have you dressed for success and ready to get the job done. Shop online now at hrpracing.com.
The Gravely Mower Series at Olson Outdoor Power is raising the bar on performance with smarter controls, longer run times, and more comfort. Add in layaway and financing from Olson's, and there's no lawn you can't conquer. Buy the best from the best. Gravely at Olson's Outdoor Power, Muskego.
The Racing Roundup Show is dedicated to showcasing grassroots racers and national stars of our sport. If you're a fan of NASCAR, four-wheel, two-wheel, road racing, drag racing, or the short track scene, you are in the right place. Welcome back to the Racing Roundup Show.
We're back on this Tuesday evening. We're here every Tuesday for you, hanging out, fresh content on your way next Tuesday, April 16th. Write it down, be here with us. We got some great giveaways after this show and every show, so stick around and by all means watch our show on demand at racingroundupshow.com. I'd like to welcome a new sponsor to our program. Drivers who are making the cut is kind of the theme. Well, this team is making the cut. Dolan Motorsports has been around for a long time. I remember seeing pictures of Teddy Dolan before I think I was even born racing. So they are still making the cut as the drivers team we want to feature this week. And across Wisconsin, all roads lead to Making the Cut Asphalt Services. See, it all ties in like that, right? For brand new asphalt paving, patchwork, crack filling, and seal coating, it's got to be Making the Cut Asphalt Services. Visit mtcasphalt.com right now to get started. And we're going to get started with our 40th season on our first show with bringing back our friend, longtime contributor, sometimes co-host, my buddy on the old ASA Midwest Tour live streams again this year. Let's welcome in Dean Strawn. Dean, thank you again for being part of our show in 2024.
Jim, it's good to be here. Thanks for having me.
We're excited to have you. We talk about short track racing. We talk about all things racing. You've got a chance to call some races nationally. Got a chance to do some ASA Midwest Tour. You're a slot car racing aficionado. You like racing all the time, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. What you been up to lately?
I've been thinking about going racing.
Yeah.
And it's getting really close because when the Racing Roundup Show starts, that means that racing season here in the upper Midwest is certainly right around the corner. Jim, it's time for the Bonafide Security Solutions Short Track Report. For cameras, alarm systems for your home or business, program card access, custom-made security doors, or call a locksmith, work or home. It's a lock. Support the racers. Team Bonafide 262-790-9400 or go online at bonafidesafe.com. Bonafide protects what you value. You talked about it with Jerry Aubie and the Bergies this Saturday afternoon. Dells Raceway Park season opener. It's going to be a great day. The Icebreaker 100 super late models. The first race of the Alive for 5 series presented by Wegner Automotive. Payout $5,000 to win, $3,000 for second, $2,000 for third, $500. It's $1,000 for Fast Time now, isn't it?
Yep, doubled up.
$1,000 for Fast Time. It's also the season opener for the Midwest Truck Series and the UMA 602 Outlaw Late Models qualifying at 12:30, racing at 2. You can save $5 by buying your advance sale tickets at DellsRacewayPark.com. At a competition meeting last Thursday night, the Wimmer family announced that this will be the final season that they will own and run State Park Speedway in Wausau, and that they do not expect the track to continue to be a racetrack anymore after this season. So certainly a sad day indeed up there in Wausau. But we do have the 2024 season there at State Park Speedway, so if you wanted to get there, now's the time to do it. One of the highlights and one race to put on your calendar at State Park Speedway is July 27th, the Larry Deachens Memorial for the ASA Midwest Tour. Big 8 Super Late Model, or Big 8 Late Models will be there as well the night before, so that's a great weekend. Attend at State Park Speedway. Wisconsin resident Anderson's Pure Maple Syrup sponsored Bill Baylog, racing full-time in the World of Outlaw Sprint Cars. Sits 8th in the championship points after finishing 15th and 18th in Missouri and Oklahoma over the weekend. He'll be racing this Friday night at Kenny Schrader's I-55 Speedway in Peevely, Missouri. Tonight's return of the High Limit Sprint Car Series in Arkansas was postponed due to weather. They're going to make that up on April 23rd. The series hasn't raced since February.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah, I was hoping they were racing tonight. It'd be kind of cool.
You and me both.
Yeah, kind of cool to see it.
Saturday afternoon, April 20th, Spring Trifecta, Beaver Dam Raceway. Check out this lineup, Jim. Bumper to Bumper IRA Outlaw Sprints, Wabam Dirt Kings Late Models, and the AFS Badger Midget Series. 3 Premier Racing Series. Beaver Dam Raceway, Saturday, April 20th for the Spring Trifecta. Regular season opener, Slinger Super Speedway, Sunday, April 21st. Headlined by the Jerry the Bear Prishkin Memorial Super Late Model Race for the ASA Midwest Tour. It's not only the season opener for Slinger, but also the first event of the season for the ASA Midwest Tour. Practice will be on Saturday afternoon, April 20th, so if you really need something to do, you can head out there for practice. Spectator admission is free for that. And our Slinger coverage this season is brought to you by Ricardo's Pizza.
Best pizza ever.
Best pizza ever. Downtown Greendale. Best pizza since 1970 in downtown Greendale. Ricardo's is owned by Richie Locke and his family. Ricardo's Pizza takes pride in the dough that they make fresh daily, fresh produce, signature sauce, and the best Wisconsin cheeses. Order the best at ricardosgreendale.com. And Jim, I know that this year you're going to be on the road chasing the ASA Stars National Tour. Any chance you can. I plan on being Slinger Super Speedway most Sunday nights once again. But you and I, on April 21st, we are going to be on the call for the live stream, MidwestTour.tv and TrackTV.com, the official home of live coverage for ASA. Of course, we want fans in the stands at all of the Midwest Tour races. But if you can't be there, you can watch the races, MidwestTour.tv, and you can sign up and catch all the replays from the ASA races on demand. So that's going to be a lot of fun.
Last couple of years of racing on there as well. ASA Midwest Tour is on there, and you can watch a lot of stuff. CRA's on there. Big 8 Series is on there, and you can watch them on demand. So if you want to go to all these races, go for it. That subscription gets you all the replays as well as the live coverage. Dean, where...
That's it. That's all I have for the
have?
Modified Security Solutions Short Track Report.
I've got one more thing.
What do you got?
The last lap was held at Bristol Motor Speedway over the weekend.
Yes.
We had a young Carter Stark on our Slinger National show, road show. The Wisconsin teenager raced the 5th in the 50-lap Vors Compact Touring Series race there. Carter's dad, Kyle Stark, now a Badger Midget regular, finished 33rd. And a couple of Wisconsin guys towed down to race the CRA Street Stock Division. Oak Creek Automotive sponsor James Swan, we talked about earlier. He had his beautiful Kawicki number 97 Camaro, the LPX paint job. It was a big hit down there. He just missed transferring into the 61 car field into the main. Missed out by a little bit. Also, I want you to turn your attention to Racing America. They have a great story on Wisconsin racer that is really getting some good attention for a good reason. Ryan Manthe is racing a car his brother built in 1988. His brother passed away, but Ryan still has on his bucket list to race this car. He raced it at Bristol, finished 12th in his B main, but his smile was as wide as the open visor on the helmet. He's got Milwaukee Mile on his schedule coming up in June. So check out the story that Zach Evans wrote on Racing America about Ryan Manthe and his run at Bristol and how much fun he's going to have racing that car that was not built yesterday or the year before or 20 years ago. So it's great to see that kind of coverage as well on that program. So
yeah, the car count that they had at Bristol was absolutely amazing.
Yeah, cut it off.
For grassroots racers.
Cut it off.
Really cool.
We want to tell you that this program is brought to you by a bunch of sponsors on our website, RacingRoundupShow.com, and one of the longtime supporters of our show. We could not do this without support of racers, getting the word out, saying, I'll be there, I'll bring my family, I'll bring my race car to your show. Let's welcome in the Dolan family, Dolan Motorsports. We got Teddy and TJ Dolan. Guys, thanks again for being part of our show, I think for all 40 years. It's great.
Thank you. I can't believe it, I'm still here.
I can. You're not even like 70 whatever years old yet. You're ready to go, man.
I'll be 79 May 21st.
Wow.
Yeah, I can't believe it. That's a long time to be going to these shows.
And I know we've got Scott Krieger's 125th scale.
I know, he just said he's giving that to me.
He's giving it to you.
He built it, and he said he's going to give it to me.
Wow, I thought he just had you sign it. He's going to give it to you.
Yeah, I got to get that hat too.
So yeah, so you're going to race this car, but you also have a real race car too in the shop yet, don't you?
I still got this one's from the 80s.
I was there. Yeah, I was there.
Yeah.
Numbers on the rear quarter panel, Midway Motor Lodge right there, the big in the center. Family there all the time. And it's amazing to see your family grow up with us, Ted.
Yeah.
Racing Roundup on Mondays at the time. You guys all came out. I see your daughter's here. Your son, TJ's here, of course. It's great to see you guys are still enjoying racing together.
When I first started going at the Moose Lodge, down in the basement, Gary Bohr, Melody,
yep.
She was there. We're down in the basement. There's only just a few people. And then one of the uncers is there. And I got my twin girls. We're just walking. They're probably 2 years old or something. Pictures of them. All kinds of stuff. I can't believe it.
Little Al Unser came with a cell phone to the show. Driving Indy cars. I don't think he won the Indy 500 yet. But he came to our show. And he had this thing that looked like half the size of a shoebox. And then an antenna sticking out of it. I'm like, what is that?
Tom Klippel had him too.
Yeah.
Bag phone, they called them.
Yep. First time I ever saw a mobile phone in my life.
You had to pull the antenna out.
Yeah. TJ, I know that we're reminiscing now, but it's really been a lifelong deal for you guys, and it still is.
I grew up at the track and obviously got to race a lot of times there. And I saw like Bill Preetzel here. I used to be Heiser trailer driver with him. It's just cool. All these people are still around. My crew's here. Appreciate all the work they did. My sister was the first all-girl crew for me at Hills Corners in 1993, and everybody wanted to follow us in qualifying. I wonder why. Because you pushed your car back then. You pushed it through the line. So,
but
a lot of memories.
You got 3 times through the line if you did it right.
As
right?
you get 4,
you could get.
You could get 4, and you got there early.
You gotta get
to park.
We're going to brag on TJ for a minute. How many fast times in a row did you have one year?
I think 8 in a row and like 17 overall in 1 year. Just had a good setup. One of those lucky years. The car was good. So
I gave him the biggest motor I had.
Yeah, the 460 Oldsmobile. I blew it up, of course, but I didn't check
a couple times.
Didn't check the chips. So
we've got a driver that's itching to go racing as soon as he's healthy. Let's welcome in your driver from Dolan Motorsports, Scott James. Scott, the Shark is on the phone. Scott, thanks for joining us here on the Racing Roundup Show. Scott, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. You got me?
Hey, yeah, we're reminiscing about what has been going on for Dolan Motorsports. You've been racing and tearing it up when you get a chance, and I understand you just got some updates for us because you had some surgical stuff done and getting back to health. How are things going with you?
Well, it was a real slow process. Obviously, it's been going on like 17 months. I had to have 3 fusions actually in my lower back, so L4, L5, S1. And it's come along pretty good, but it was to get total fusion and everything done to where I was back healthy was going to take up to 18 months. So now I'm to the point where I actually got my last doctor's appointment tomorrow, and we're going to get some answers from them then on the future of what I'm going to be able to do as far as if I'm allowed back in a car. They've been leaning towards yes and then no and then yes. So but I'm feeling really good. I went golfing. I've done a lot of that stuff. There's a difference obviously with the grounding and pounding of a dirt late model, but I'm feeling pretty good, and we'll just see what they have to say tomorrow.
And TJ, we can tell by his slight accent, he's not from South Milwaukee. He's a little bit farther south than that. Indiana, Kentucky area. But how much fun has it been racing with him? Give us brag on him a little bit about the fun you guys have had together.
Obviously, we know he won back-to-back Sheffer Memorials. Russ was a big part of racing. The whole family, George and everybody down, helped me out a lot in my career. My dad, Eldon Heiser, some top rides in Wisconsin. So lucky enough to do that, but he won those races and a lot of other ones. So real proud to be partners with him when we're together.
And you guys got cars, you got equipment.
He's majority owner now, and I'm still a part of it. We're transitioning a little bit. Okay. Because just the way things fall, all the equipment's in Indiana. It just was a good decision, but I'm still involved, and Scott's been nothing but a great friend, great driver, stand-up guy.
And Scott, we're wishing complete recovery, and that news tomorrow. Hopefully, it's good. We're all cheering and wishing you well there. And health is primary, right? Health is the utmost important thing to worry about going back racing.
For sure. Yep, for sure. Not a lot of people knew, but even when I was driving for TJ full time, and obviously we're still really tight with and I spent a lot of time with them guys actually when I was racing. But I was taking epidural injections back for 5 years. So we had some problems, but we kind of just pushed them off a little bit, but it was to the point to where I had to get something done. Yep. And I feel really, like I said, I feel really good. I know if things go well, we can get back in there. We're going to be really good. I got a lot of good friends in the racing industry that can get us right back fairly quick up to speed, and if it happens tomorrow, we'll go from there, and we'll just cross our fingers and see what they say.
Sounds really good. Dolan Motorsports has been around. It's more than 40 years. Teddy, when was the first time you drove something?
1968.
There you go. Yeah, that's a long time.
1968. It started first race at Slinger on the dirt. A lot of people don't even know that was a dirt track at one time, and this guy, my friend, Frank Smith over there, he's a couple years older than me. I started on the front row, and he went by me so fast in 2 laps, he came from the back, I couldn't believe it.
And you guys are still hanging out, chat with each other.
Yeah, we're still
Wes
friends.
Here hanging out. I mean, there's a lot of cool guys.
And Wes Eckert, we're still all friends.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Yeah.
there's another generation of Dillon Motorsports, isn't there? TJ?
Yeah, I got 2 boys, and we got a go-kart on this off-season, and we're going to go goof around at Dousman a little bit. We're going to see who's actually interested in it and who's faster. So I'll put both their names on it, Boston and Ashton, so might be the next generation.
1 car, 2 brothers?
Yep.
Okay.
So maybe one might be the crew chief driver or vice versa. We'll see what happens. So we're going to go goof around a little bit.
There's a lot of different classes at Badger Kart Club. You know, you can maybe do that engine
We got the
swap
Briggs.
and
We got the
chassis
Briggs
shop
world-class engine. So we got all good stuff, top of the line. So we'll see what happens.
I love it. You can't get enough of it, can you?
Yep.
Racers all the time. And thanks again for popping for the beer for our friends tonight. That's really cool. You did that. A tradition that Teddy did way back in the day as well. So it's really cool to have you guys on. Where can we find out more about where you're racing?
You can go to DolanMotorsports.com, check it out, and Shark's page. He's got Scott James Racing, so it's all there. Ted Dolan Sr.'s got his page too, so we'll see what he wants to do.
It's been a ball having you guys here. It's a tradition we have. Hey, Scott James, we wish you the best in recovery. How about a big hand for Ted Dolan, TJ Dolan, and Scott James for joining us here tonight on the show.
Thanks everybody.
Guys. Really
Thank
appreciate
you.
you being on. Thank you. Heal well, Scott. We're thinking about you. Hope it all goes as planned. It's been a lot of fun being part of this program for all the years. And another driver that's raced on tar and on the dirt and done pretty well is Brad Miller with BMRE Electric Karts. They've got the only Icon dealer in Wisconsin. They've got beautiful karts that are electrified. They also have the scooters we talked about. Yeah, they have scooters now. Be cooler, get on a BMRE electric scooter, as well as electric bicycles. They go 25 miles between charges, up to 30 miles per hour. Go to BMRE Electric Karts Company on Facebook to find out what they have cooking. And great to see Bradley back involved with us, and he's racing as much as he can this year on every kind of racing. So it's great to see racers helping us and certainly promoting guys like Dillon Motorsports on the program. When we come back, we're talking about the Midwest Truck Series. They got a big to-do coming up. It's the Icebreaker 50 coming up this Saturday afternoon at Dells Raceway Park. We'll talk to John Wood and racer Bryce Miller about his truck out front to show off, to hang out with you guys. So we'll be right back with them.
Thanks for tuning in to the Racing Roundup Show. Check out our website, racingroundupshow.com, and like our show on Facebook. Join us on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. We're coming right back after these messages from our awesome show sponsors.
Danny Lynch's at the corner of Highway 100 and Lincoln is a great place to watch NASCAR races, Packer games, Brewer games, and to meet up with your friends. Joey and Jim Lynch pride themselves on their friendly hospitality and welcome Racing Roundup listeners to stop in to watch all the races on their 14 TVs and flat screens. Danny Lynch's at the corner of Highway 100 and Lincoln has been a longtime supporter of racers, including National Road Racing Motorcycle Champion Dan Belansky. Relax around the big neighborhood bar with 2 pool tables and dartboards surrounded by TVs. Whether you're meeting up before the game, want to watch the races with race fans, or just want to grab a cold one, head to Danny Lynch's at the corner of Highway 100 and Lincoln in West Dallas.
Adams Towing offers expert heavy-duty towing services for the entire state of Wisconsin from their Plover headquarters. Since 1961, 3 generations of heavy-duty towing specialists and racing supporters have provided towing, flatbed, and reload service, plus winching and upright, long boom service, truck starting, and cleanup. Adams Towing proudly sponsors Ryan Farrell's Super Late Model team. Put Adams Towing and their experienced team and their fleet of heavy-duty tow trucks and rollbacks to work for you. Call Adams Towing today at 715-344-3836.
Bobby Gutnick and the technicians at Oak Creek Automotive on South 27th Street in Drexel are experts in automotive repair. For 35 years and counting, the Napa Certified Car Care Center at Oak Creek Automotive handles emission testing, tires, and complete auto, truck, and SUV repair. From oil changes to transmission replacement. 414-761-3250 to schedule your free inspection appointment. For all your vehicle repair needs, head to South 27th and Drexel to the experts at Oak Creek Automotive.
Grassroots drag racing is open to everyone at Great Lakes Dragway in Union Grove. Make GLD your home track. Come and enjoy the show or challenge your friends to be part of the show. Opening spectacles through April 14th. Pay spectator entry and you can run for free. Bracket Points program opens their season on April 20th. Pro classes, street classes, and even bikes and sled classes. Check out our website for the most updated calendar and upcoming shows. GreatLakesDragaway.com.
Welcome back to the Racing Roundup Show, America's longest-running weekly motorsports program, held in front of a live audience. You still have time to join the racing crowd. Now, let's get back to our host, the trackside voice of the Daytona 500, co-anchor of MidwestTour.tv coverage, and co-anchor of the ASA Stars National Tour coverage on TrackTV.com and MAV TV, once again, Jim Trado.
Thanks again, everybody, for joining us here on the program. We've got a lot to cover for you. We look forward to seeing you on a Tuesday night as we have a lot cooking, a lot going on. And we want to tell you that our friend Kevin Swindell, the 4-time Chili Bowl champion, has a new product called Victory Fuel. It's right here. We're going to give away cans tonight after the show. If you want to buy some of this, there's a Lucky Lemon flavor. This is the Throttle Punch. We've got a code for you to save money. It's called, go to drinkvictory.com, enter in the code SHOW at checkout, and you can save money. And it helps everybody in racing because it helps our show. So looking forward to seeing Kevin on our show next week with Austin Hanson and some other guys talking about Victory Fuel as we go forward. Tonight we've got a lot to cover. I want to tell you what happens in the world of NASCAR. It's the Interstate Batteries of Southeast Wisconsin NASCAR report. And it's brought to you by Interstate Batteries of Southeast Wisconsin. They've got a battery for every need. They are certainly where you want to go to for any kind of battery. You can search interstatebatteries.com to find a dealer near you. They're a proud sponsor of Joe Gibbs Racing since the outset. Visit interstatebatteries.com to find a dealer near you. Drivers Jeff Bodine and Jeff Gordon gave the command Sunday to start engines in the NASCAR Cup Series in Martinsville. It celebrated the 40th anniversary of the founding of Hendrick Motorsports. Over 1,500 employees and their families were in attendance. It was a big deal. Kyle Larson won the pole, and Hendrick Motorsports finished 1, 2, 3 in the race. Congratulations to Hendrick Motorsports. My brother John was in the crowd. He's been working there since 2001, so a big deal for Hendrick Motorsports to celebrate as a group at Martinsville, which has a lot of great memories of 29 Cup victories. 29 grandfather clocks are in Hendrick Motorsports across the board. They also have the tragic memory of October 2004 when they lost those crew members and family in a plane crash heading to Martinsville. Jimmy Johnson won that race. We'll forever remember those souls as they continue to be honored every year at Martinsville. If you ever see a Hendrick Motorsports team photo at Martinsville with the grandfather clock, and their hats are turned backwards and they're pointing up, that's the tribute they give to Ricky Hendrick. That was his style, his fashion, and their memory for them. So great big weekend for them and the Cup race at Martinsville. Franklin, Wisconsin, Sam Mayer is rightfully upset after the race. He got boogered out of the way late in the going. He was inside of Eric Almirola on a restart. He came through the field clean. Sheldon Creed gave him a bump, went 3 wide. Sam had to check up. He lost the race. Almirola went on to win it, but Franklin, Wisconsin, Sam Mayer was thankful he finished top 3. He finished second, actually, after a rough start to the season. So good to say a good day finally for Franklin, Wisconsin, Sam Mayer. Carson Quapple, son of Janesville native and 2003 NASCAR Truck Series champion Travis Quapple, made his Xfinity debut on Saturday. He finished 4th in the 88. Amazing run for him. I was hoping to do better than Bubba Pollard, who jumped in that car for the first time a week ago at Richmond and finished 6th. So Carson's got the one up on him as he continues to get exposure and made his Xfinity debut. So great job by Carson Quapple and the family. We had him on our road show at Slinger Nationals back in 2022, according to our friend Greg Lapine in his Facebook post. Parker Retzlaff from Rhinelander finished 37th at Martinsville. He won the pole the week before at Richmond. Westby, Wisconsin's Dexter Bean ran 20th, and his brother-in-law Mario Goslin's number 92 at Martinsville. This weekend, Menominee Falls resident Josh Blicky takes over that ride as they head off to Texas Motor Speedway. In the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series in Martinsville, Neenah, Wisconsin resident Ty Majeski won the pole Friday afternoon, led twice for 66 laps, but didn't have the truck or the restart fire at the end to hold off Christian Eckes when winning his second race of the year. 7th in his career, Eckes for McAnally Hilgeman Racing, winning in the 19 truck. This weekend is Texas for the Truck Series as well. Johnny Sauter is entered in the Nice Motorsports number 45 Chevy, the same truck he raced with and the team he raced with at Daytona in February. Wausau racer Luke Fenhaus, we talked about him racing in the Alive for 5. He won the championship in that last year. He's racing in the Truck Series this year at some point with Thorsport Racing. Looking forward to seeing how that debut will come. He'll be racing this Saturday at Dells Raceway Park in the Alive for 5 race. He's got a busy Super Late Model schedule as well. And as we wrap up a glimpse of the national racing scene, 3-time NASCAR Cup Series champion Tony Stewart beat Brittany Force and NHRA Top Fuel in round number 1 of eliminations. That's his first elimination round victory in Top Fuel at Firebird in Arizona. In less than a month, John Force turned 75 years of age, and he just won his 176th Wally. And the NHRA Funny Car Finals postponed from last fall. The Winter Nationals ran on Saturday. John Force picked up the Wally on Saturday. That is amazing. Last month, I did chat with John Force in person. I interviewed him in Daytona for an upcoming MAV TV presentation of what was I there for to cover. It was the Motorsports Hall of Fame of America induction ceremony. Jimmy Johnson was inducted. Paul Newman was inducted by Mario Andretti. It's a big to-do, but I talked to John Force about all the cool things that he got to do, and it's amazing that he's still going after it. He was there on behalf of his longtime crew chief, Austin Coyle, who is being inducted in the Hall of Fame. We'll get you information on when that show is going to air on MAV TV. It was a lot of fun to be part of that deal. NHRA winners at Firebird were Sean Langdon in Top Fuel, John Force Racing's Austin Prock in Funny Car, and Greg Anderson in Pro Stock. They're racing 4 wide at Vegas this weekend. We now turn our attention to what we'll call the Anderson's Maple Syrup Racing Short Track Spotlight on a young driver that's racing the 11 truck outside in the Midwest Truck Series season opener coming up in just a few moments. This is the Anderson's Maple Syrup Racing Short Track Spotlight and Bryce Miller. They're proud sponsors and supporters of Wisconsin racers Bill Balag and Jason Gross. Try Anderson's in your coffee or tea or vanilla ice cream. Take it with you with pure fuel, energy, maple energy on the go. Buy Anderson's Maple Syrup at your favorite grocer. Anderson's, over 95 years of syrup perfection. Find them online at andersonsmaplesyrup.com. Glad to see all that. In what we have to present to you is another portion of our TV portion. This Tuesday show will be happening in a 30-minute block this Saturday and every Saturday at 11:30 a.m. on CW 18 in Milwaukee. Before we do that, we want to tell you there's a lot that happened last fall. It's called the Falloween at Dells Raceway Park. It was also called the Icebreaker that was delayed from spring to fall. And we have Bill Holland this week and hopefully every week on our show. With Bill Holland's In the Groove, let's take a look back to what ended the season as we prepare for the season opener this coming Saturday afternoon at Dells Raceway Park.
Hi, I'm Bill Holland in the Groove at Dells Raceway Park, where the big Falloween season finale is even bigger than ever this year. This race crowns the champion in the Alive for 5 Super Late Models Series, but because of inclement weather earlier in the season, we're running 2 of the Alive for 5 races this afternoon. With feature wins in the Capital 100, Crickle 99, and Badgerland 125, 2021 Alive for 5 champ Luke Fenhouse is looking to sweep all of the series main events in 2023.
If we can do that today, that's the main objective. Obviously, our championship's on our mind, but we definitely want to win out, these last 2 races for sure.
Defending Alive for 5 champ Gabe Summers is fresh off a win in the ASA Midwest Tour Oktoberfest 200. The 2023 Midwest Tour champ right behind Fenhouse in the Alive for 5 points.
Feels good. A lot of confidence coming in here. I think we got a decent car, and hopefully it plays out all right.
We'll go for 150 laps. The first 75 will count as the Icebreaker feature. Second 75 will be the Falloween race. John DeAngelis Jr. in the 7 out front. He's also in the Alive for 5 hunt. But Ryan Farrell in the 80 takes the lead from DeAngelis. Luke Fenhouse is up to second, but he's not catching the 80. At 75 laps, it's Ryan Farrell with the Icebreaker feature win.
Crazy how tight the competition is. There's 10 cars that can win this thing any given week. You do not know anymore. Even when ties here, you do not know who's going to win this race.
In the Falloween feature, Gabe Summers still has a shot at defending his Alive for 5 title. Summers leads, with Casey Johnson second in the 5 car. Johnson's missed most of 2023 with a medical issue, but the 3-time Midwest Tour champ and 4-time Tundra Series king is back in a big way. Casey Johnson wins the Falloween feature. Luke Fenhouse in 5th wins his second Alive for 5 championship.
To be able to come back and, pick up pretty much right where we left off. Our program was so strong last year and had some medical issues, and we were able to come back out strong, and that was the most important thing to me.
You take away the positives, though. We won the championship, and we won 3 out of the 5 races. So, we'll leave here one day and look back at this year, and, we'll fight another day.
At Dells Raceway Park, I'm Bill Holland in the Groove on the Racing Roundup Show.
A snapshot of the Super Late Model Racing that's to come this Saturday. The start of the Alive for 5 season is this Saturday, qualifying at 12:30, racing at 2 p.m. Looking forward to seeing you there for the big show. We'll be there to cover it for you, and we'll have all the details on Tuesday's show here to come. It's time for some TV magic with our next guests. You ready? I am. Welcome to the Racing Roundup Show. Glad to have you with us here on this Saturday afternoon at CW 18 Milwaukee. We do the show every Tuesday night. Come on down and join the live racing crowd. Check our website on our schedule, racingroundupshow.com. We now have a couple of guys sitting next to me that are really busy this coming Saturday as we kick off on Saturday, April 13th, the afternoon show at Dells Raceway Park for the Midwest Truck Series. Let's welcome in the owner of the Midwest Truck Series, the man in charge, John Wood, and driver ace over here, Bryce Miller. Guys, thanks for coming on the show.
Hey, thanks, Jim, for inviting us.
I am excited to have you guys here. I think last year, this show, we had you on again, talking about what's to come. And, John, it's getting bigger and better than it was a year ago.
Oh, my gosh. I mean, I'm just so proud of everything that's going on right now. My support team that works for me at the track and off the track, Drew and Beth, they're my media people. And in charge of a lot of stuff. I mean, I'm very thankful they're helping me. My other guys, Buck, Phil, Scott. We are a team. All of us are a team, and it takes all of us to do it. There's no I in it. So pretty proud of all them guys. But, we got a full year this year, 14 races. Go online, MidwestTruckSeries.com. You'll see our schedule, obviously. But very excited. Our first race of the year is at the Dells with Mr. Jerry Aubie. He's got to invite me up here. I'm his cousin, so we get along great. We have a lot of fun together. But then the race after that at Madison, the sponsored by Stan Otis at Club Lamarck. He's a longtime supporter of racing. Then we got I'm going to jump up a little bit. Our next MIA race in August 23rd. A new sponsor come on board, Hogan Farms, which has supported, half the cars and trucks that race out there, and it's a funny story. I really won't tell the whole details of it, but they come up and offered to sponsor me one evening.
And that's a Friday night at Madison International Speedway in
yes,
August.
Yep,
okay.
August 23rd.
Yep.
But we got a lot of the same sponsors. The Cleaver family, we got Nora's Tavern for the Jefferson race, just a ton of them. I mean, like I said, go online, see all of our information, and but sponsor-wise, we're getting more and more sponsors. We can never have enough, just like anybody, but we have what's called event sponsors. They'll sponsor a race. That can be negotiated with myself or Drew. And, so it's a pretty good deal. Just contact us. We are going back to Grundy, Illinois this year. That's on July 13th. It's going to be a busy month, July and June, but we'll get through it. We got some great teams that race with us, such as the Miller team. But really excited to go back down there. We haven't been down there for a few years, but so, that's one of our highlights. But something that Drew thought of this year, we got a 3-race summer heat. And that involves Slinger, July 9th, Grundy, July 13th, and Jefferson Speedway on July 20th. So I don't know exactly how that's going to pay out. We are looking for sponsors for that, but it's pretty exciting. And then Drew is drawing up a deal right now about a bracket program, for elimination. Fans are going to get involved, so they may get some type of payoff. A truck team that advances up and wins that is going to get a nice cash prize. It's pretty exciting what we got going on this year. But same thing, we couldn't do it without our sponsorships. Fortunately, I can't read them all off because there's so many of them. Every little bit helps. But some of our main sponsors is, Gandrud High Performance, 5-Star, Weir's Machine, Pathfinder Chassis, QA1 Shocks, J&K Tools, James and Katie. They are sponsoring our Rookie of the Year. And that's great of them. They've been a long-time participant in the Truck Series, 6 championships, so they've been around for a while.
Well, looking out for the next generation. They want to make sure they're supported. Well, you got like half a dozen drivers already signed up for that, right?
Yes. So, that's great of them, but, we just got so much going on this year that I'm so excited about. And sponsorship for the banquet. We give away, we got a really nice banquet every year, and we give a motor away. Well, we don't. Gandrud Chevrolet gives a brand new 602 GM crate motor away. We've done that with them for the past few years. Pathfinder Chassis gives away a half of a brand new Pathfinder truck chassis. I don't know which half you want, but no, seriously, though, they've always been a great supporter. There's some of the sponsorships we got are great, so but obviously all of our teams. We got 31 teams expected at the Dells. There's a chance we could have 2 more there. and then there's other ones out in the wings. So, I mean, participants, it's just great. But a little late news report. Scott Hansen called my brother last night.
Yep.
He wants to race the truck. We've talked about it past few years.
The ASA star, Scott Hansen.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
He wants to race the truck. He's got a PR guy, and they're going to come up in the Madison area, and they are going to start selling kazoos. You
Really?
heard that a few years ago. That worked out quite well for my brother. So Scott took a handle on that, and him and his